Yo, what's going on, guys? It's JMass, and I'm back again with another dope, albeit very cold, New England adventure. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, it is freezing cold today. It is literally a 10-degree Fahrenheit Sunday morning. I'm blistering cold right now, trying my best to bundle up and stay warm, but despite my futile attempts and despite the freezing cold weather, the show must go on, and I have a really interesting abandoned location that we're gonna be checking out today. So we're currently here in the town of Montague, Massachusetts. More specifically, we're in the village of Turner's Falls, which was once a powerhouse in Massachusetts industry. And many remnants of its industrial past sit abandoned here in this village. And we're gonna be checking out one of them today. More specifically, we're gonna be checking out the former Indeck Coal Plant. It was built in 1989 as Indeck Energy Systems. It powered the nearby Strathmore Paper Mills complex, but when that complex closed down, this closed down in 1996. Later on, in 2006, it would come under new ownership and was officially dismantled with all of its assets liquidated and most of the property demolished. However, following this dismantling, the EPA discovered many hazardous contaminants, chemicals, and waste on the property. So we're going to be checking out that very property today, the former Indeck Coal Plant here in Turner's Falls, Massachusetts, more specifically in the town of Montague, Massachusetts. Again, it is a very cold day. I'm going to try to keep my existence outside short because of that. So I'm going to try to keep this a pretty brief video. And admittedly, there's not too much to see, but there are some cool ruins and remnants, just like what you can see directly behind me, these graffiti-covered concrete walls. So we're going to get started with that. I'll get more in depth regarding the history. But as always, guys, my name is JMass. If you love urban exploration, checking out abandoned sites, traveling New England and beyond, I'm always doing that on the channel, so feel free to subscribe to the channel. I want to give a shout out to my lovely members. You can see them right here. Recently, I've gotten a lot more members, and I'd appreciate if you too joined the ranks. You can join today and become a member of the JMass channel. Support me and the channel directly. Or you can follow me on Instagram at JMassOfficial. That's at JMassOfficial. But guys, I'm going to get started and explore this abandoned coal plant right now. Built in 1989, dismantled in 2006. I'm going to try to keep as warm as possible. Again, it is 10 degrees Fahrenheit on this freezing cold Sunday morning. So join me as we get started and check out these pretty cool concrete industrial ruins. All right, guys, let's get started and explore the abandoned Indeck Coal Plant here in the village of Turner's Falls in the town of Montague, Massachusetts. And I'm really excited to see what this place has to offer. Now, full disclosure, I actually have been here before. This isn't my first time. It's actually my second time. However, the first time it came was earlier in the year, early 2024, and I only briefly scoped it out. I didn't fully explore it. So while I have seen some of the property, a lot of the stuff we're going to be checking out today is new to me. So it's not my first time here. It's just when I did first come here, I didn't see everything. So I am excited to do a full in-depth exploration with you guys on camera. But yeah, let's see what's going on here. As I walk around and show you guys these admittedly interesting graffiti-covered walls, I'll tell you about the history of this place. So as I mentioned, it opened up in 1989 as the Indeck Energy Systems. I'll just be referring to it as the Indeck Coal Plant. Now, it powered the nearby Strathmore Paper Mills complex, which is literally located right next door. It was a massive mill complex that produced paper and paper products. Actually, some of you guys might remember earlier this year as well, I filmed at another Strathmore Paper Mills complex in the nearby town of Russell, Massachusetts. That's actually located further south than where we are, but this is a different Strathmore Paper Mills here in Turner's Falls in the town of Montague. So this coal plant opened up in 1989 specifically to power that paper mill complex, located right along the Connecticut River, I might add. So it was a major source of power. Now, unfortunately, the Strathmore Paper Mills would close down just a few years later, I believe in 1994. And then 2 years later, in 1996, this coal plant officially closed down. It would come under new ownership, and then in 2006, it was fully dismantled. And most of the property was demolished and destroyed. And you can actually see that destruction right here. I mean, look at that. We're basically in the midst of a foundation right now. So at one point, this would have been a massive building, probably an energy building. Today, completely destroyed. You can see the remnants of the demolition right here. Now, the other thing I mentioned is that following the dismantling and demolition in 2006, the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, actually discovered hazardous contaminants. This included contaminated topsoil, chemicals, all that stuff. There was also a lot of remnants of coal and coal ash, and I believe there was even fuel oil found underground. So yeah, not in the best condition. There was a lot of environmental waste here. But yeah, this is just pretty much a concrete husk. Again, we're in something of a foundation right now. Not a whole lot to really see here, but really interesting. And I do have to say the graffiti is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I'm not going to go into detail. You guys know my stance on graffiti right now. Since these are just open ruins and remnants, I do have to say the graffiti here is pretty cool. A lot of cool stuff. But this is probably the highlight of the location. The abandoned coal silo. Look at this. This is an abandoned coal silo. Pretty big. Okay guys, so right now we're gonna head inside of this coal silo. This thing again is super tall. This is one of the primary landmarks here in Turner's Falls. When you drive into the village, that's like the first thing you see is this coal silo. So we're gonna head inside, see what's going on in here. I do see an entrance and I'm curious to see what's in here. When I came here last time earlier this year, I actually didn't go inside the silo, so I'm very interested. Let's take a peek. Wow, inside the silo, look at this. Crazy. Oh, is there an echo? Echo! Yep, there's an echo here. That's crazy. And some more graffiti. So yeah, as we walk around, another thing I want to mention is that this power plant, the Indeck Energy Systems coal plant, was a cogeneration power plant. And as the name suggests, it primarily used coal. So coal was the primary method used to harness energy. And thus, as I mentioned, after 2006, when this place was demolished, the EPA found a lot of remnants of coal and coal ash. So again, it was a coal plant powered nearby Strathmore Paper Mills from 1989 to 1994, and it closed in 1996. This place is huge. Wow. Another thing I want to mention, which I neglected to mention in the previous clip, this is part of a district here in Turner's Falls called the Canal District, the Turner's Falls Canal District. It's a massive area cut off by a canal from mainland Turner's Falls, and it's all remnants of the industrial past here in the village. This is one of them, but there are others. Of course, the Strathmore Paper Mills. I believe some other mills, which I'm not sure the name of at the top of my head, but this is located on the Turner's Falls Canal District, a extremely important historical district with a lot of industrial remnants and abandoned locations. As far as I'm aware, this is the easiest one to access and explore, and yeah, I don't know, interesting. An abandoned tire right here, and this is weird, look at this, an abandoned computer. What is this doing here? Random abandoned computer monitor in a coal silo. That is extremely bizarre. Huh. You know what, really quick, I do want to get in here. Looks like there's a little tunnel over there, so I'm gonna head over to the silo right now. Let's see if we can find our way in there. Okay guys, so I'm on the other end of the coal silo right now, and I did find a way in. I just want to briefly show you from afar the absolute magnitude of this coal silo. It is huge, it is tall, and again, it's a landmark here in Turner's Falls. When you drive in, this is one of the first things you see. It sticks out in the sky like a sore thumb, and it's absolutely massive. One of the few remnants of the coal plant that wasn't demolished. They left it behind. Okay, let's actually head in. I don't know if we can get into that tunnel, but let's try. Just right down this little walkway here. Actually, by the way, before we head in, I will really quickly show you those mills you see right over there in the distance, those mills right there. That was the Strathmore Paper Mill complex. We're not going to be going there today. While I do believe they're abandoned, I think they're privately owned, and I also think some parts might still be in use. But I did just want to show you, that is the Strathmore Paper Mills right over there. This coal plant once powered those mills. All right, so we're going to dip in here. I apologize for the very bright sunlight. Again, it is early in the morning as I film this. Also, you can see fresh snow on the ground. We actually had snow 2 days ago. Okay, What do we got here? Okay, so that's where we just were. That's underneath the silo. You can see this is the silo right here. That's where we were in the previous clip, right down there. We walked out here, and this is the tunnel. So it actually looks like we probably have to go up there to get into that tunnel. So I think I'll do that in a second, but a really interesting location. You can see it's also completely covered in overgrowth and vegetation. Okay, I'm gonna head over to that foundation, see if I can find a way in. Okay, so this right here is some more foundational concrete pieces. Again, at one point, this was a massive power plant. Today, completely demolished, other than a few remnants, including these concrete foundations and the silo. So really what we're exploring is just the remnants of what's left behind. Really interesting though. I do want to find a way inside though. Maybe I should go this way actually. Let's peek over here. Okay, this might actually be it right here. This might be the way in. Whoa, slipping on the snow. Okay, that looks like one way in. I mean, there's no way I'm going down here. It's quite the drop. Actually, it even looks like it's completely covered in water. Obviously frozen ice now, but it looks like there's a massive pool of water underneath this foundation. Let's see if we can peek in here, although I'm having a bad feeling we're probably not going to be able to get down there based on the current conditions. Gonna wade through this foliage. Not really foliage, just completely open sticks and twigs. All right. Yeah, that's where we just were. So unfortunately, I don't think there's a way into that tunnel. I don't know how. I think the only way people got down there was by climbing. So people must have had to climb to get in there. Kind of a shame. I want to check that out, but oh well. I will end off by showing you guys this view of where we started, right over here. Apologies for my scant commentary at the moment. I'm trying to duck through all these thorn-covered branches. Okay, so this is where we started. That was where I filmed the introduction, right over there. Really cool. This looks like it was once a massive building right here. Today, just ruins, covered in graffiti. And then right back there, the Strathmore Paper Mills complex that this coal plant once powered. All right, guys, so really quickly before I head out, I will just do one final walkthrough of this property to show you everything one more time. I did just want to quickly show off this other foundational piece I found. Not really much here, but it's a little more hidden in the woods out back. Just another foundational piece, probably a former building. But let's check out this silo area one final time before I head out. As I mentioned, this is going to be a pretty brief video. There's not too much to see here, admittedly, but still a cool place nonetheless, and still a fascinating piece of history. I find the history of Turner's Falls very underrated, especially in terms of the industrial period of the 19th and 20th century here in Massachusetts. I think Turner's Falls is a pivotal piece of that history. So yeah, as I mentioned, this opened up in 1989 as Indeck Energy Systems, powering the Strathmore Paper Mills. Closed in 1996, came under new ownership, and then dismantled in 2006. Now, I forgot to mention this earlier when I said the EPA did a cleanup and investigation of the hazardous contaminants. That actually occurred much later, after 2006. It actually occurred between 2017 and 2018. That's actually when the EPA investigated this place. So it was much later, in the late 2010s. But really all that's left today are just these remnants and ruins of the coal power plant. Still really interesting to walk around and see. It's like you're stepping back in time to a forgotten period of American history when industry reigned. Super cool to see though. The final thing I want to mention before we head out are the plans for this location, because I do have good news and bad news. The good news is this place is actually going to be redeveloped and revamped. It's possible that a lot of these ruins will be demolished, which that is the bad news. Sucks seeing history demolished. However, they are going to be replacing this with a public park. And the one thing they are going to be keeping is the coal silo. They're actually going to be keeping this coal silo intact. And from what I understand, based on what I read, this is going to be a public art display. So at some point in the near future, maybe the next 10 years, You might drive into Turner's Falls and see this now blank and empty concrete silo covered in public artwork. That could be really cool. Almost reminds me of the rainbow swash, you know, near Boston. That would be cool to see. So I do like seeing this property, which is clearly not being used and it's in a horrible state of disrepair. It would be cool to see this redeveloped and revamped for public use and recreation. I actually support that. I would love to see that happen. But I would like to see more of the ruins implemented in that. Like this concrete structure right here, while there's not much going on, it's cool to see. So hopefully that happens. But yeah, I just did want to mention that there are it's not 100% yet, but there are plans that seem likely that this property will be revamped and reestablished for public recreational use, which would be cool to see. But yeah, guys, that's really about it for the Indeck Energy Systems coal plant here in Montague, Massachusetts. My hands are freezing cold, probably on the way to frostbite, so I think I'm going to head out, and I'll probably do the outro in another location, just an FYI. Really quickly, I did just want to show you guys this small abandoned brick building right here. You can see this thing is completely boarded up, so there's no way to get inside, but it is abandoned, it's boarded up, plastered and graffiti, and then of course you got the concrete coal silo directly behind it. I just wanted to show this off really quickly, not too much going on here, just another abandoned remnant of the power plant days. Not exactly sure what this specific building was used for though. You know what I mean? I don't know exactly what this building's function was. And it's a little bit farther away from the plant we just explored, you know, with all the concrete ruins, but still an interesting piece nonetheless. The only brick building on the site. Hey, thank you guys for joining me. I've been J-Mass as always, and this has been another dope New England adventure. And man, it was freezing cold today. I had to come to the car and warm up a bit, but I'm chilling now. I'm feeling better. My fingertips are no longer frozen solid, and we're doing good. But one thing I do want to mention, if you're watching this on the release date, you know, the day I post this, it is Christmas Eve. And I just want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year. I can't believe it's already Christmas. I mean, 2024 completely flew by. But I do want to say it's been a great year. 2024 has by far been my best year yet on YouTube. Posted a lot of great videos. You guys seem to like them. And I really appreciate you guys sticking with me throughout this journey here on YouTube. 2024 was a great year, and I'm excited to see what 2025 has in store. But today we explored yet another great abandoned location. We explored the abandoned Indeck Coal Plant in the village of Turner's Falls within the town of Montague, Massachusetts. It was built in 1989 as Indeck Energy Systems. It powered the nearby Strathmore Paper Mills complex. But when that closed in 1994, the coal plant closed in 1996 since it was no longer needed. It later came under new ownership, and in 2006 it was dismantled and partially demolished. Later on, between 2017 and 2018, the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, discovered many hazardous contaminants, chemicals, and waste on the site. Ever since then, it's sat completely abandoned and neglected. Although it does seem like it'll get a new life eventually, there are plans to redevelop and revamp the property, turning it into a public recreational site, and I'm really interested to see if that occurs, and if so, what'll happen to it. I've also heard that the coal silo on the property will become a public artwork display, maybe even an observation tower. So I'm really interested to see if that takes hold. I would love to see that property become open for public and recreational use. But nonetheless, it still stands as a fascinating and interesting piece of rich Massachusetts and New England industrial history. And I'm really excited I got to explore it with you guys and check it out for the second time. But as always, guys, my name is Jay Mass. If you love urban exploration, checking out abandoned sites, traveling New England and beyond, I'm always doing that on the channel, so feel free to subscribe to the channel. I want to give a major shout out to all my members. You can see them right there, my beautiful channel members. You guys are awesome. You've been supporting me and the channel directly for many months now. I also got some new members, so thank you guys for joining. I'd love it if you too joined. You'd be supporting me. Or you can follow me on Instagram at JMassOfficial. That's at JMassOfficial. But I've been J-Mass as always. This has been the Indeck Coal Plant, built in 1989, abandoned in 2006, located in Turner's Falls within the town of Montague, Massachusetts. As always, guys, thank you again for 2024. It has been a great year. I'm excited to see what 2025 has in store. I probably won't see you guys again until 2025. So seriously, thank you so much for this great year. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and Happy New Year. Catch you guys on the next one. See ya.